So, hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Raaonline. This is Dr. Srivatsan, your faculty for biochemistry. And today in this session, we are going to see about synthesis of free fatty acids. Okay. So, before going to the synthesis, I just want to slightly brush you up with some certain facts regarding when does this fatty acid synthesis occur in your body. Fatty acid synthesis usually is an anabolic process. It means what? Whenever you had a very good meal, whenever your blood glucose levels are so high, okay, whenever your ATP levels are high, so at that time, what our body cells will think, okay, our body has lots and lots of glucose for producing energy, okay. So, you can utilize that ATP for formation of energy, okay. At the same time, when even ATP is also high, at that time what happens? Your body tries to utilize that high energy to synthesize and store the products which you consume, okay, because it can be used for later use, okay. So, this is the basic motto of our body, to store things during a well fed state or high energy state. There is anabolism. Whenever there is a state when there is your body encounters any kind of a low glucose, or whenever your energy level becomes low, it means our body will try to utilize the stored depots, okay. So, that process is called as catabolism, okay. So, mostly during the well fed state, the anabolic hormone will be insulin, and the catabolic hormone mostly will be glucagon and various kinds of counter insulin measures, counter insulin hormones, okay. So, this fatty acid synthesis usually will occur during the state of anabolism. Means you have had a very good meal, your blood glucose levels are nicely high, okay, or you have high amount of energy, high amount of ATP inside your cells, okay. Both are different. A good meal does not mean you have high ATP, okay. Even at hypoglycemia you can have high ATP, okay. So, these two are different contexts, but these two will contribute to anabolic process, that is formation of certain things, okay. And always remember, during anabolism you use that extra energy, because energy will be too much in your body. The context here is to use that extra energy to make new things in a storage form and store it in a specific place, okay. So, all the synthesis process always utilize energy, and most of the catabolic process, except with exceptions of one or two reactions, they always produce energy. So, this is the basic principle behind the anabolism and catabolism. So, with this basic context, I just wanted to go inside the topic now. We are going to see about fatty acid synthesis. So, fatty acid synthesis, your body tries to store about a food you consumed in the form of carbohydrates into fats, okay. When does it store these things? Whenever your blood glucose is high, or whenever there is high amount of ATP, okay. So, in both these conditions, there will be action of insulin. So, this insulin always supports the anabolic process. Are you clear now? Fine. So, what happens after you consume a lot of food? So, just imagine this as a cell, any kind of cell in your body, okay. And this part, the green part will be your mitochondria, okay, the powerhouse of your cell, okay. So, what happens if you consume glucose? I mean, like what happens if you have a good meal? So, your blood glucose level increases, and this blood glucose level which is flowing in the blood will be taken up by the cells through which hormone? Through the action of insulin. So, with the help of insulin, all the glucose enters inside the cell through insulin dependent glucose transporters, okay. They enter inside the cell, glucose, okay. So, glucose, once it comes inside the cytoplasm, what it does? It undergoes glycolysis, okay. So, glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, it goes on and on, and finally it forms what? It forms pyruvate. So, this pyruvate in the presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. So, this acetyl coenzyme A will be there inside the mitochondria, will enter the mitochondria, acetyl CoA. Okay. So, this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex itself will take place in mitochondria. So, the acetyl CoA is formed inside the mitochondria. Okay. So, this acetyl CoA formation, what it does actually, I will just redraw the mitochondrial structure here. So, with the help of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, you convert that into acetyl coenzyme A. So, acetyl coenzyme A combines with oxaloacetate to form citrate. So, this citrate then in the presence of citrate dehydrogenase is get converted into isocitrate. This isocitrate then will get converted into alpha ketoglutarate. So, the point here is that this cycle continues on and on. Okay. Finally, oxaloacetate will be released and you release lots and lots of energy. Lots and lots of reducing equivalents and ATP will be formed. This reducing equivalents and ATP will then enter into the electron transport chain where they will be finally converted into total amount of ATP which is produced by a complete oxidation of a glucose molecule. So, this is how you generate more amount of energy, more amount of ATP. The final thing is, the final product which is getting, the ultimate product is ATP, high ATP. So, whenever your cells are high in ATP, it means what? It comes, this high ATP will try to inhibit this isocitrate dehydrogenase. The formation of isocitrate is inhibited. So, this isocitrate formation is inhibited means what? There will be more accumulation of citrate inside your mitochondria. Clear? So, up to this point, please understand, whenever during the well-fed state or whenever during the time of high ATP levels, what happens? The high amount of ATP, what it does? It inhibits the isocitrate dehydrogenase enzyme, and because of this, what happens? The isocitrate formation is inhibited. So, because of the inhibition of this isocitrate formation, there is increased accumulation of the substrate which is citrate here. So, increased amount of citrate inside the mitochondria, this citrate what it does?